Hey, all you lovely ladies. Welcome to this episode of Coach Cara's podcast, Itchy, Bitchy and Guests. Today I'm going to speak about holidays because it is holiday season incoming. So I have put a poll in my the Midlife Reset, which is my online coaching for nutrition and daily habits to make women in the perimenopause and midlife feel fucking amazing. I put a poll up asking if anybody had concerns about holidays, right? So we've got, this is their concerns: navigating the buffet at every meal, eating tasty food without guilt, alcohol, exercise, should I, and tracking food, should I. So I'm going to chat about that today on this podcast, about holidays and should you have any concerns. So the first thing I want you to remember is that in the world of life, as in we are living life, right? Life doesn't start when we get to a set weight on the goal or a set weight on the scales, or it doesn't start when we drop a dress size or anything like that, right? Life is now. So what I don't want anybody to do is put their life on hold till they get to where they want to be, because life is now, right? So this is part of my coaching, is that we try and work through any issues that we have, any barriers, we've all got them, even me, and just start to focus on thinking about making some changes, and slowly making those changes is good enough. Yeah? Understand? So if you have got yourself a coach or signed up with me or started introducing 5 portions of fruit and veg, making a conscious effort to cut back on your alcohol, making a conscious effort to change your relationship to food, so to practice eating out without feeling any guilt, to cut back on alcohol, right? If you are trying to do all of them, then for right now, that is enough, and that you should be enjoying the process, enjoying making those changes, and just enjoying the fact that you're actually trying to improve your future health. All right. Don't wait until you've got to a size 10, or you've got to 14 stone, or you've got to 5 exercise sessions a week. All right. It's now that's important. It's absolutely now that's important, because tomorrow you could be dead. As brutal as that sounds, all right, but there is literally no point waiting. So I'm just going to have a chat about these, all right. As always, my lovelies, you can get me on the socials. I am on Instagram and Facebook as Coach Caris. My inbox is always open. My chat on the socials is always free. So if there's anything specific to yourself, drop me a message. I'm always around to chat, right. Navigating the buffet at every meal. There are certain things that you can do to make sure you're still eating healthily but enjoying the food while you're on holiday, all right? Chances are, if you're at a hotel with a buffet, it is literally a buffet at every meal. So the first bit of advice I would give you is, do not eat like a dick. There is absolutely no need for anybody to be having 3, 4, 5, 6 plates of food at every meal, right? It's fucking ridiculous. You don't need to do it. That food is still going to be there tomorrow. Not the same food, but you know what I mean. That amount of food, all the tasty stuff, all right? So limit yourself to 1 to 2 plates of food, all right? Same rules apply. You want to enjoy the tasty stuff, so have the tasty stuff. As always, it's about portion control. It's not about cutting any one food out, right? No one food will make you fat. Absolutely not. It's the amount that you're eating that causes fat gain, all right? So if you're having breakfast, would I have 2 plates of food at breakfast? Bloody right I would. I usually have Greek yogurt and fruit with some honey and stuff to start with. And then for my breakfast second course, I'll have some protein. So that could be bacon or sausages or scrambled eggs and toast. So think about your portion control. Don't necessarily think about cutting anything out, right? But one thing I will say is, do you actually need a plate of cakes for your breakfast? I mean, do you? Come on. No, you do not. So when I'm eating sweet stuff, right, I try to keep it till later on in the day, because if I have cakes for breakfast, then I will want to eat sugar for my lunch and sugar for my dinner and sugar for my snacks. So I will try and keep the sweet treats till later on, till after dinner, basically. All right, then I will have a pudding with my dinner, or I'll have my dinner and then an ice cream. All right. So lunches, you can think about lunches. It might not be a buffet if you're half bored or whatever, or if you're just bed and breakfast and go out for lunch. My go-to for lunch is a salad, obviously with protein. Now, whether I was away in Greece in April and I literally had either a Greek salad or a chicken Caesar salad for my lunch every single day, because again, like I said, the protein before, so if you're eating protein at every meal, it will stop the sugar cravings and it will just stop you being starving in the middle, in between meals and stuff. But again, if I eat shit, basically, super tasty food for my lunch, then I'm absolutely going to be lying on the bed or in the bed eating 5 packets of Lay's crisps for my snack. And then that's going to destroy my dinner. I'm just going to be really weak and have lots of sugary stuff, all right? So 2 plates for my breakfast, Greek yogurt and fruit, followed by something proteiny with scrambled eggs and toast, like I said, smoked salmon, fish, bacon, whatever your thing is, all right? For my lunch, I will have a salad. I probably wouldn't have a pudding at salad. I probably wouldn't have a pudding for my lunch. And I certainly wouldn't have any alcohol, because that'll just send me into the, afternoon munchy zone. And then for my dinner, I would pick protein first. And again, this, you could do some trades with yourself, right? So if you want a pudding, then don't have a starter. So have a main course and have a pudding. If you want an alcoholic drink or a sugary cocktail or some beers, then swap that for the pudding, all right? This is about you finding out what works for you. And it's about having a bit of everything and enjoying the tasty food without feeling deprived. And yes, sorry, by the way, just to clarify, if I did all of that, so if I had my Greek yogurt and my protein for my breakfast, a salad for my lunch, my dinner would maybe consist of a main course and maybe a pudding, or a main course and some alcohol, you're damn right I would still be having Lay's bed crisps at some point during that afternoon, all right? So navigating the buffet every meal, my top tip, don't be a dick. You don't need 5 plates of food, all right? And save your sugary treats for later on in the day, and then do some trades with yourself. The same goes for the second bit in the poll, which was eating the tasty food without guilt, right? Most of the guilt comes from because of the fact that we eat too much. So we have a plate of cakes for our breakfast, we have a main course and a pudding for our lunch, and for our dinner we have a starter, a main course, a pudding, sugary cocktails and some alcohol, and then we have some Lay's crisps in between, and then we might have an ice cream at night. That's where the guilt comes from. It's not necessarily the actual food that we're eating that brings the guilt, it's the amount of food that we're eating. So we want to work on balance, we want to work on enjoying the tasty treats, but we also want to work on not feeling deprived, and that usually comes from portion control. So have a bit. Portion control takes practice, by the way. It took me a long bloody time to nail it. It does take practice. And did I eat a lot of chocolate while trying to practice not eating the chocolate so much? Yeah, of course I fucking did. All right. But the guilt gets less and less and less the more you do it. So make a decision about what you're going to have and have it and enjoy it. Make a sensible decision about what you're going to have. Yeah, if you want a pudding, have a pudding. Share the pudding if it's going to lessen the guilt. All right, trade your pudding. So if you're having a pudding for your dinner, then don't have a cocktail. Have a slimline tonic and vodka, or whatever your thing is. It's about doing deals with yourself. Yeah. Alcohol. Well, so to be fair, right, out of the group, it was a multiple graph, by the way, a multiple ticky box thing, so you could hit more than one, but everybody that participated in the poll hit alcohol, because again, that sometimes gives us a lot of guilt. Excuse me, just having a wee drink of water. And also, like, we seem to turn into these, like, mental people when we go on holiday. So we're like, oh, we're on holiday, so I'm going to drink alcohol every day and I'm going to drink excess amount of alcohol every day. You wouldn't do that at home, right? And you wouldn't do it at home because it disrupts your sleep. It makes you feel like shit. It comes with the munchies. And it's not something that we do when we're at home. So why do we feel the need? Why do we feel the need? Still try and stick to 3 to 4 days, even 2 to 3 days of alcohol-free days. It will make you feel better. It will make you feel less sluggish. It will give you more energy. And you want energy when you're on holiday because you want to go exploring and you want to do shit that you wouldn't always do, right? Because you're on holiday, so you want to break the routine and the monotony of being at home, and that's totally cool. Again, for me, I wouldn't drink at lunchtime. Right, if I was I've never been all inclusive, but if I was all inclusive, I wouldn't be sitting at 10:30 in the morning with a pint, because I would lose half the day. I would either be steaming mortal and probably vomit, which would not be cool, but it just makes you feel like shit. It makes you want to do nothing, and you're on holiday to enjoy the experience. Obviously, all of this is just my opinion, all right, but I all know that you follow me because I am relatable, so I hope you understand why I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm telling you my thought process so that you can make the decision for you, all right? So if I was going on holiday and I was slightly anxious about alcohol and the alcohol intake, I would try and keep it as much to as at home as I could. Right, now bearing in mind I didn't drink during the week, all right? In fact, I haven't had a drink. I've had a drink on holiday. That's the only time I've had a drink since before Christmas. So in Greece in April, I had an alcoholic drink 5 days out of the 7. And on those 5 days, I had 3 pints because I like a pint. And I think on 2 of those nights, I had a cocktail as well. All right. The trade off was I didn't drink during the day and I didn't have a pudding on those days that I had alcohol. So I had ice cream the other days because I like an ice cream. That's my deal. All right. So keep it as close to what you can do at home. Just, it's like the food at the buffet, right? Just because it's there doesn't mean that you have to eat it or drink it every single day. That's my top tips. All right. Exercise, should I? This is a very subjective thing, right? I have done both. I have been on holiday and taken my gym gear and been in the gym every single day. I've been on holiday and taken my running gear and went for a couple of runs. I've been on holiday and not taken any kind of gym gear or running gear, and I haven't done any exercise, but I have walked. So again, you need to decide what is going to suit you. If it's going to make you feel fucking awesome to get up at 6:30 in the morning and go and do a half-an-hour gym session, why would you not do that? Why would you not do that? If you want to go on holiday and break every single routine and constraint that you have at home because that's going to make you feel awesome, why wouldn't you do that? You should absolutely do that. In April, I took my running gear and I went for 3 runs. 2 of them were under 5k, one of them was 5k. It was hot, it was 18 degrees in the morning at 6:30, all right? It made me feel awesome. Of course it did. But I also equally enjoyed the mornings that I didn't go running and I just had coffee in bed instead. It was lovely. So decide what you want to do. Don't do something because you think that you should be doing it, all right? Just do it because you want to do it and commit to doing it. So if you decide that you're going to take your gym gear and you're going to go for 3 gym sessions, do it because that'll make you feel fucking awesome. If you decide that you don't want to do any gym sessions, amazing. But the payment for that and the swapsy and the deal that you're going to do is that you're going to do 20,000 steps every day. Remember, the best thing for fat loss is steps. Exercise is not for fat loss. Exercise is for your heart and your lungs and your bones and your joints. And having a week off of exercise and using it as a recovery week is perfectly cool. Perfectly acceptable. 100%. Also, tracking food, should I? Again, this is actually quite a difficult one, right? I have done both. And I would say to my clients, no, don't track your food. Take a week off of MyFitnessPal. but it also depends on how long they've been working with me. So if they've only been working with me for a fortnight and they feel like tracking their food, bearing in mind it's roughly tracking, they feel like tracking their food is going to keep them in control and more likely to make healthy choices but still enjoy the food that you have when you're on holiday, then absolutely fine, knock yourself out. The problems arise with tracking food on holiday if it's going to start stressing you out because you don't actually know what is in the food that you're eating. Like, obviously you're eating out most of the time, even if you're self-catering, you're still eating out sometimes. So if tracking your food on holiday is going to bring with it any bad feelings or any associations of guilt or any feelings of you missing out, then I would absolutely suggest that you don't do it. It's only a week, it's maybe a fortnight, all right? At the very most, you're going to gain, I think, 10 to 12 pounds is the average weight gain for, well, the average scale weight gain for a fortnight's holiday, all right? It is not body fat. I'll come at that in a minute. If tracking your food is going to make you be more mindful of what you're eating, and it's going to encourage you to pick your protein first, to not eat 3 plates at the buffet, to cut back on the high carby, high sugary foods that's going to make you feel like shit, then yes, by all means track your food. All right. The other option you have is, and again, I would encourage my clients to do this, is that I would work out their maintenance calories for them. So if they were tracking their food, just say their deficit calories was 1,500 calories and their maintenance calories was 2,000. Obviously, I've slightly simplified that. But if they're going to track their food, then I will work out their maintenance calories for them when they go on holiday so that they effectively have an extra 500 calories to enjoy the tasty stuff like the alcohol and the sugar and the cakes and the sweeties and the ice cream, etc., etc. All right, so that's another option for you. So if tracking food is going to make you feel guilty and it's going to make you feel like you're missing out, absolutely not. If it's going to make you feel fucking awesome and allow you to eat mindfully while still enjoying the tasty stuff, then yes, do it. Yeah, options. Again, it's all about client preferences, but it's also all about giving you all the information so that you can make your own decisions. Yeah, excellent. Right, scale weight. I'm just going to cover this one at the end quickly. All right, when you go on holiday, regardless of whether, right, just say I went on holiday, right, and my calorie deficit was 1,800 calories, right? My macros were 30% protein, 40% carbs, 30% fat, right? If I went on holiday and I absolutely nailed that on MyFitnessPal, right? I absolutely nailed it on MyFitnessPal. I still drank my 4 to 5 litres of water, all right? If I managed to do that and I came back and stepped on the scales would still be heavier, right? Because I had been in a hot country. Things are different. There is literally no way you can control every single bit of food that you put in your mouth on holiday because somebody else has cooked it for you a lot of the time, all right? The cooking processes are different. You don't actually know what ingredients are in it. When you are tracking food on MyFitnessPal, it is a guess. It's a good guess, but it's a guess, all right? So your body reacts differently to the amount of sleep that you've got because you're in a strange bed. It reacts differently to air conditioning. It reacts differently to the heat. It reacts differently to the different activity and exercise levels that you've got on holiday, all right? So please do not stress about scale weight when you come back, all right? The scale weight that appears on the scale the day after you come back from your holidays, right, will do you no damage. You turning that scale weight into a fuck it week and not getting back to your goals and your macros and your calories and your water straight away, that's what will cause you to fuck things up. That's turning that one scale weight into a fuck it week, 2 weeks, or a month, all right? Come back, step on the scales, let that weight float through your head. Okay, that's where I am. I know what I need to do to get back to it, all right? Get back to it as soon as you can. If that's the day after, that's cool. If that's that same day, that's cool as well. Whatever you need to do, get back to your calorie deficit. You don't need to under eat from your calorie deficit. Just get back to your calorie deficit. All right. Get back to your water, get back to your protein, your carbs, your fat, your fruit and veg, your fibre, your exercise, and your activity. 2 weeks max, and that scale weight will be back down to what it was before you went on holiday. Probably not even 2 weeks, all right? In my nutrition coaching group, my tagline is going to be, it's been mentioned a few times already this month, is that the weight on the scales when you come back your holiday, all you need to do is drink some water and do a big jobby, as well as get back to the thing, all right? But you're dehydrated, you're possibly constipated because of all the food that you've eaten on holiday, all right? You're dehydrated, you've moved less, you've not slept properly, it's going to make the scales jump up. So 5 litres of water, a big jobby, you'll be right as rain. On that note, ta-ta, my lovelies.